What's going on, everyone? It is Trump 2024, but today we are talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden has made a fool of himself, and it ain't the first time he made a fool of himself, but this time I think he's done it for good. And speaking of good, we got my cuz Thunder Dan from the Rockin Roll Rebel Show. What's up?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing out there?
Happy 4th of July, special edition.
Special edition. I see your little fireworks display. Is that CGI in the background? What you got going on?
Nah, man, I got some patriotic official Trump 2024 lights that are back there. And I got them for sale on the website, christmascontractor.com. You can buy some, put them next to your Trump 2024 sign. We just got to get a vice president so we can get a sign made.
Okay.
That should be what?
That should be pretty easy now.
So just in case you missed it, I got a bunch of videos and everything, but we're talking about Joe Biden. And Joe Biden, he didn't do a very good job. I think that would be a nice way of saying it. Joe didn't do a very good job in the presidential debate. You know, Biden says, I'll golf with you if you carry your own bag. And he done fucked up and said, I'll debate you, but then he's like, Trump's like, and you name the place, anywhere, anytime. Okay. So he makes up all the rules and still gets his ass whipped. It was terrible. And this is kind of where it started. Did you see I couldn't believe in the presidential debate that Joe Biden would go as far as making so many like outlandish racial statements of, oh yeah, well, we're bringing civil rights back to the States, and Hitler and the people coming out of the woods with swastikas and all this shit. And it's like, what are you talking about? What the hell does that got to do with anything? Them guys calling each other racist. Have you seen that video that I put together?
No, not really. Let's play it. You got that?
Yeah, it's just a minute. Here it is.
Be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. This man is a criminal.
Now, please welcome the 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress. We're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. I thought Hitler had some good ideas. We're trying to provide housing for black. And these people should be in jail. And they should be the ones who are being held accountable. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches. Hitler's done some good things dealing with the segregation. Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches were fine people. Come on. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done.
And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. In the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name.
It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous.
The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now.
They were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. The good things Hitler's done. The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything.
Well, I mean, there you have it right there. It's he really took it to the next level, and it was a swing and a miss for strike three. Sit your old ass down. Maybe you might get another turn at bat, and maybe you won't. I mean, but he looked so bad. I mean, I don't know whether you hold his hand like Jill did to get him off the stage, or you just grab a shovel because he's done. But Joe didn't look very good. What do you think?
No, I don't think Joe looked good at all. I mean, they didn't juice him up, stuff like that. I don't understand why they didn't juice him up. Some are saying because he gets angry, like the State of the Union, he gets angry. You saw all the memes where they put like the red behind him and like the Hitler stuff and all that stuff.
But I thought he did good in the we covered the State of the Union address, and I thought he actually sounded good. And not only did he sound good, it was so surprising, so out of the blue, the way he was acting, how good he was. You were like, this is the first time I've seen him actually put sentences together, articulate points, have inflection in his voice where he wasn't so monotone. That was the first time in a long time he actually was maybe, Joe Biden from 20 years ago. But that was like, when you have dementia, you have your good days and bad days, and then you have more bad days than good days, and then you don't have any more good days. But there was that one day, and that was the State of the Union address.
Yeah, no doubt. That's what I'm saying. When Joe's juiced up, he's fine. He can read a teleprompter. But as you know, he went to Camp David for 10 days to prepare for this debate. And I guess they knew the questions. I'm sure CNN gave him the questions. I'm sure they knew the order of it. So, but the problem was with Joe Biden is he couldn't quite remember it. The 10 days wasn't enough. Like, if you give Joe Biden numbers, they need to quit giving Joe Biden numbers whatsoever. Because, like, say if it's like 3.2 million, he'll be like 7 gigawatts of power.
It's like 3,000. I mean, million, billion, trillion.
Yeah. Joe can't have no numbers no more. And I don't know. I mean, the whole debate, the fallout, you saw the way the media, the Mockingbird media, the mainstream media was just like, oh, he's got to go. He's horrible. But everybody watching this show or my show already knew that Joe Biden had dementia for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wasn't a surprise to us. It's just, I guess the rest of the world finally saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't pay attention, but they're probably like, oh, the debate's coming up. It's an election year. Let's tune in. And then CNN would just had to drop the hammer. They're like, oh, shit. Everybody's done seeing it now. Joe's got to go. But I don't know if he's going to go or not, because I think Sunday, right? They said they were going to have the thing that all the families were meeting together, and then Joe was going to stay. But then as of today, I found out that I guess he met with allies and he might go.
Met with all the Democrat governors for a private meeting of all the Democrat governors that were at the White House. And, Fox and other people were saying that they're talking to him, trying to talk him into, dropping out. But there's a lot of complicated things for him. Even if he wanted to drop out, there's a couple variables, which maybe we'll get into a little bit later. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I don't know if he's going to drop out or not, but I did realize that I guess Hunter Biden is now the person he's taking advice from. I mean,
he's now a cabinet member.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Hunter, I guess your son, you know what I'm saying? You're going to love him regardless, but Hunter's been through some stuff. I don't know if you want to rely on him so much because he's not making the greatest decisions in life. Or is he? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Hunter's living it up.
Well, I mean, they already found cocaine in the White House twice. So now that Hunter hasn't left since Camp David.
That wasn't his cocaine. There was no proof of that. His fingerprints weren't on that baggie. Nobody's was, right? They said they couldn't find no prints on a plastic bag.
Yeah, well, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, I mean, one could assume. But is there evidence that Hunter Biden is smoking crack and snorting cocaine, and you can see him high as a kite at the when it was the Easter Bunny or later for the 4th of July for the fireworks?
Yeah, that was last July 4th. He's holding his nose and stuff.
Clearly, I mean, anyone who's true to the line knows exactly what I'm talking about. You can look at another person and say, that dude, he is high out his mind. And Hunter Biden was at the White House, and now that he's back at the White House, unfortunately for him, as a convicted felon for crack cocaine, while you're filling out the paperwork to buy a firearm, now that you got that one, you're hanging on to dad. It's like, are you sure about what you said? Like you weren't going to pardon me? Come on, if you're going to quit anyway, can I get this pardon? So he's riding dad, and he's not leaving. As a matter of fact, he's taking a spare bedroom in the White House. And to say that he's not doing cocaine in the White House, I don't know. You have a pretty big set of balls to say that there's no way, no chance he's doing that. Again.
Yeah, no, he definitely has a drug problem. He's probably still doing it. You know what I'm saying? Addiction's tough for some people. You know what I'm saying? It gets tough. You got to find people to help you out. But Hunter, he's a grown man. I mean, his whole life, you know what I'm saying? He dated his brother's wife and got her hooked on crack. So I don't know if Hunter's the one Joe should be taking advice from. But Joe's been corrupt his whole life anyway. He's been a Senate member forever. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the youngest ever voted, and now he's a president. I mean, Kamala Harris. I don't know. I think the United States is finally waking up that there's a lot of corruption maybe out there, and the people need to take the power back. It's the only way we're going to get out of this nonsense. You got to get out and vote.
Shit, yeah. Hey, let's take a look at this little clip. This is some Biden bloopers. I think we've all seen it before, but this kind of crazy ass behavior, even though fake news, CNN and MSNBC and all these fake news are like, oh my God, this is the first time I ever seen it. Please, it's not the first time it's happened.
Well, these truths to be self-evident.
all men and women created by go. You know the thing. I'm among many qualified people. I'm the best qualified person for this job. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives.
Don't give Joe no number.
When you think about it. You know, the rapidly rising I don't know. I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not. I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot. Another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was President Obama, my boss. It was his fault. Guatemala, El Salvador, and to go in and say in Honduras and say, look, I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education, in global warming efforts. It's a whole range of things. We can't afford it by just beginning to treat reward work as much as wealth. It get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun, and the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair
do what?
Come back up again. If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. Have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun. Don't jump! Don't jump! Don't jump! They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
To what?
Say that LGBTQT people have no civil rights. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big... No, I really mean it. And immediately change the law in the state of Delaware protecting transgender people. We have to eliminate the fun...
Changing transgender people. It's like this thing goes on and on, but I mean, it's years and years of this crap.
Majority white and non-white districts. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Man, you're hard to keep up with.
You do great out there. But after a good workout, got to drink up.
All right.
Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble with Jill and Michelle.
Just let Michelle know I did drink this, all right?
Same time next week?
Same time next week. All right. You got a real dilemma, Mr. President.
I can't go every day, can I?
Which you like better, these or these?
Joe, they're the same.
They capture different moods.
Well, that's enough of that. I mean, you get the point. The point is this dude has not been stuttered and stumbling when he's trying to read a teleprompter, going live. The news is like, he cannot speak live. He cannot handle himself live. How the hell is he having conversations with foreign dignitaries and leaders of, countries, and especially opposition in countries that are kind of our enemies on the other sides, and we're potentially at war and there's conflict? How is he handling and how is he running the country?
Well, they told us behind doors that he was sharp as a tack. So I guess that was a lie. And they said he had it all together. But I mean, recently they come out and said that Joe Biden is like 10-4. That's it. He calls a lot of lids. I can't remember the last time he came out and just had a real press conference where the press would just ask him a bunch of questions. Remember how Trump would come out there and he'd literally take 15-20 minutes of just getting hammered by the press and then shooting back at him and all the fake news and all that stuff. But
Well, at least you sit there and you say, like if they said, Trump, you don't have the ability to talk live, you prove that. You don't say, well, and next week I'm going to have a 15-minute interview that's going to be pre-recorded with Stephanopoulos. As soon as you're done with that press conference that day, you take questions immediately right now. Hey, ask me a question. That's what Trump did. But he wasn't accused of that. But you take a question, you answer 1 or 2 questions, and you leave. But you allow like 1 or 2 questions. Biden never takes questions from the American people.
Hell no.
Never.
Well, even the press corps is just it's all biased. You know what I mean? They all been propping him up ever since the January 6th Stop the Steal rally or insurrection, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's all been one big lie, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more and more stuff that comes out about that.
Yeah, this one right here.
Yeah, it's just Weekend at Bernie's. He's just that's what's scary for Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's like you thought your president was running the country, but he's not running it. Obviously, he's not running it. It's his cabinet, his handlers behind the scenes. Some say it's Barack Obama in his 3rd term. So I don't know. It's just scary for Americans that if something really happened, like say 3 a.m., say something right now happened. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden's not waking up. You feel like they're waking him up, or they're just going to have someone else make the decision?
I mean, what I would do is I would just go on the Rockin Roll Rebel Show. It's streaming on YouTube and on X, or actually it's streaming on just YouTube right here, but Rockin Roll Rebel Show.
Well, I put clips out on Twitter, on X. I put it up on Instagram. I put it out on TikTok. You can follow it everywhere. It's just
I pretty much got kicked off of TikTok.
Are you definitely done? Like I slowed down on the talk because I get no more.
They put as soon as you hyperlink in or you put a hashtag for Trump or Joe Biden or anything political, they slow you down. And then I had like 3 or 4 videos that were removed from community standards.
Yeah.
And then I had the 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. And now if I post a video, there's like 200 people that look at it, but not like the 1,000 that used to.
Yeah. I was getting big numbers too. And then I started doing some flat earth stuff, bro. And now it's just.
Well, when we said something nice about Gavin Newsom, that was like 25,000 on that one, remember?
Yeah, they'll pump you. Yeah, they'll pump you. That's what I'm saying. We just got to switch over to Joe Biden team, bro. Joe Biden, the Democrats, Kamala. We just defend Kamala. We love Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Kamala, her laugh. She's the best.
Hey, what do you think about that Black MAGA?
Black MAGA, I love Black MAGA. I love Mexican MAGA. I love
Black MAGA, Black MAGA. Donald Trump, yeah, that's my president. Donald Trump, the first black president. Ever seen a black patriot? Yeah, we exist. The Democrats use my color just to stay rich. Indict my president, you might as well indict me too. Call me your Uncle Tom, but really what Obama do? Not a damn thing, Trump was just that chick.
So that you kind of look a little bit like this lone white guy right there. Blacks for Trump.
I need a good mustache. I should shave all this off and rock a mustache tomorrow and get some white shoes. You got those same white shoes at home, I guarantee it.
I think
those white New Balances.
My dad may or may not have the New Balance with the N on them. 2020 Black MAGA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there, then there's that.
Yeah, it's weird. Like now I just feel like any celebrity, like that Mark Cuban stuff. You see how Mark Cuban said that he was still going to vote? Like, I feel like Mark Cuban's got skeletons in his closet if you're just going to come out and support Biden at this time. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird.
I think as an NBA, an owner of the NBA, and then connected in some way from Hollywood and, those people who are Hollywood type of people, they're almost forced to go, Democrat, and you're looking at all these actors and stuff like that getting paid to endorse Democrats or Joe Biden in this case. If you're in the NBA, you're definitely in the mix over there. And if you own a team, you don't want to be like, well, I don't want to go to that team because Mark's, votes, he's a Trump supporter. So you kind of want to, you're a business owner. You want to, play the fiddle of your business.
But doesn't most people, like, say you're a top talent in the NBA and like you're educated and smart. Like, I feel like if you're educated and smart and pay attention to politics, you understand that the Democrats are dirty. They lie. And they're controlled. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're controlled. Like we see that, right? So if I saw that, I wouldn't play for Mark Cuban. You know what I'm saying? Would you play for Mark Cuban?
Well, if he's going to pay me like $30 million,
no. You already got money. You got LeBron money. You got LeBron money and LeBron talent. Would you play for Mark Cuban?
I mean, the fact that when it comes to business, if you're saying, hey, I vote for Joe Biden, but I want to give you some money. So we're in the Christmas business. So I want to give you some money to put Christmas lights. I don't care. Whatever. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
You should change your name to, instead of Kingdom Lights, Christmas lights, you should be Kingdom MAGA Lights. I bet you your business would pick up a whole lot.
You think so? That'll be what pushes me over the top. MAGA Lights.
Yeah, instead of a $1 million company, you'd be $1 billion company. You know what I'm saying? Overnight.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if there's every year to do it's this one. But yeah, I do got some patriotic spritzers that are back here. Dude, they're bad to the bone. I'll put some in front of your face in a minute, but it is, let me write it out for you.
So I got my trim lights up right now. I got them up.
ChristmasContractor.com right there. ChristmasContractor.com. You can buy yourself some of these patriotic spritzers that they have 16-inch and 24 we have in stock, and we can ship them out, and you can have them right next to your sign, or you can, they're really cool, man. I just have them in the house. They're awesome.
A tree or something too. That looks nice.
Dude, well, they look better. The camera's not really picking them up as cool as they actually look in real life.
No, I see them. They look like real life sparklers. They look nice.
Yeah, man. 4th of July type stuff. But moving right along, Trump has been very vocal at how weak Joe Biden is, and the media is treating him like grandpa. Let's be nice to grandpa. Let's not say nothing mean to grandpa. But at some day, he's not like somebody who's sitting on the sidelines and he's a water boy and you're picking on him, calling him water boy and making fun of him all the time. This guy's the president of the United States. You got to pull the gloves off. This is what the game is. And it's not my fault that you injected yourself, and you know damn well that you have dementia, but your wife, elder abuse, is putting your ass out there in the center stage so you can take a couple more shots like Sylvester Stallone, and it's in the 10th round, 11th round. You should have threw the towel in way before, and he's still getting more and more shots. It's like, that's what's going to happen. Why are you saying that you're running again when you can't even work but from 11 to 4 every day? And 46% of the presidency, you've been on vacation. And Pierre said today that she didn't deny that he takes daily naps. I mean, come on, dude.
You want your president, right?
Yeah, the reason why he did so bad at the debate is because jet lag, because he had an airplane flight from Europe 13 days before the debate, and they're saying that he had a cold and jet lag. Man, he got killed today in the White House press conference, which we'll play in a minute. But here's Donald Trump talking about, because now Joe Biden has orange face with his spray tan. Here's Trump talking. This is not recent, but this is Trump talking about Biden at the beach.
Biden goes to the beach a lot because he's got consultants that say, you look great in a bathing suit. You ever see him in the beach? He's going into... No, you look great in a bathing suit. Some consultant is getting paid, probably give him $1 million a year, and he says, we want to see him on the beach. First of all, I don't want to see a guy that much on the beach because it means he's not working, right? But I don't think he's particularly actually, he's heavier than I thought. I thought he was razor thin. It's only his legs that are razor thin. But they have a consultant. He said, this guy looks so good, he's so handsome that he's going to be on the beach as much as we can. If he would have gone to the beach, and the problem is, those chairs, they're like light aluminum now, right? A child can lift them. They're meant for a child to lift for your grandfather, right? A child, he can't lift a chair. Remember we used to say, I'd like to take him to the back of the bar.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
And the press, the fake news said, oh, isn't it so cute? If I ever said that, they'd say, he's a fascist. You know what would happen if he took me to the back of the bar? He'd be in trouble. But you know how I go like this? Under Biden, the USA has been turned into a dumping ground of the world.
Yeah, that was a little Kingdom Radio special. That was like in New Hampshire. That was like a month or two ago.
Yeah, that's classic. That's classic Trump. That's why we love Trump, because Trump can go off the teleprompter. Trump can give a speech. He could literally go out and probably give you a 2-hour speech and not even hesitate. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Biden probably couldn't give you 15 minutes. Like if he just went raw out out in front of like the nation, he couldn't give you 15 minutes straight up telling you what he's looking for in his 2024 campaign and where he sees America going, because he's done. I mean, he was done before the election even began. People knew it. Like I saw, like I guess Tucker Carlson releases. I guess Joe Biden's sister Val, I think, was saying that she was upset because Jill was putting out Joe, knowing that he had dementia back in like 2019. And then now we definitely see it. We knew it all along because we were all talking about it. We were all putting the memes out. But the rest of America now knows. So I guess they're in full-blown panic mode. We're winning. The Republicans are winning. But I don't even want to consider myself a Republican. I just want to be like a patriot, America first, stuff like that. I want to get the real stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have cars right now that can literally run on water, but we don't do it. You know, because we can't get rid of gas, right? We can't get rid of the $1 trillion gas companies. What are we going to do with all the gas stations when you could just literally take a garden hose and fill up your car and run it? So,
well, it has to be combustible.
It does. It transfers the hydrogen in the water, and literally cars can run on water. They have the little kit that goes on top, like the old school carburetors and stuff, everything with the fuel injection. It's just one of those things, but they can't release it because what are you going to do then? You know what I'm saying? You're putting companies out, Exxon, all them companies, they're not going to have that. They're going to be like Boeing. They're going to kill whistleblowers, right? They're going to kill them.
Well, I don't know. I think, buying a car for $385 a month, 3-year lease versus how much are those hydrogen or water cars or something? I don't know if they're affordable for everyone yet.
They're not released yet. I mean, they won't release them. I mean, it's all like hidden technology. There's like hidden patents out there. It's like free electricity. It's like, how come all the homes aren't on solar? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's free energy. Why aren't they on that?
Elon said if you had, I think, what was it, like a 50-mile by 50-mile spot, he could build the battery. He could put the batteries and the solar panels to run the whole United States or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good they are, because the problem is with the batteries is you don't even need the batteries technically. I guess if you go back in history, like Nikola Tesla, he was drawing energy from, Earth, from the sun and all that. So you know what I'm saying? He had like those little contraptions where like the electricity would come out and all that. So who knows? It's all, you know what I'm saying? Like if you follow the Rockin Roll Rebel Show, we definitely go down all these rabbit holes and all that stuff. But down here, we got to keep it PG for the Kingdom Radio. We don't want to get knocked. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can go. You can go as hard as you want, man. Go hard in the paint. You ain't hurt nobody's feeling. Don't scare me.
Copyrighted strike the other day. I just got copyrighted strike. My last video got age restricted. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. My last video, you can go on my channel. It's age restricted. That's like my third one that's been age restricted, and I've had a couple blocked and banned. So when you're over the target, that's when they start knocking you down. So next will be getting kicked off and stuff. It'll be curious to see how this election goes. So I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, because it's July 3rd. Technically, right now, you think Joe Biden's out next week or
no?
He's not out by then. He's riding, right? They're gonna ride him till November.
They have to, because what 2 states is it? Alabama and Ohio, since when the primary says Joe Biden, they said in those 2 states, if he doesn't do it in the next 30 days, or it's within 60 days of the election. So if he doesn't do it like in the next 30 days, then they won't allow him to be a ballot that someone can even choose.
Yeah, I think there's a couple states too, like Wisconsin has something. I think by August 7th or something like that is like the deadline.
Yeah,
a couple states. So unless like he gets 25th, so I don't know what they're gonna do unless they keep Kamala on the ticket, right? And then they put her up. Joe Biden's like, I'm gonna go. Kamala's gonna take over for my ticket, and then she brings in a VP or something.
Well, she has to. She has to go because the donors are already asking for their money back. Some of them, and say Joe Biden is the person who I donated all this money, and they have this big war chest of all this money that they can do the campaign. If Joe Biden is not there, you can't put I'll just say Gavin Newsom, just for lack of, filling in the blank, but you can't put like another person in there and then they have access to the whole war chest. It doesn't work like that. That money doesn't belong to just whoever you want to put in there. That's Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, that presidency,
that's his campaign.
So the only way that they can keep the war chest is Kamala Harris has to be the person that's running. And then she can pick a running mate or whatever. But that she has zero chance of beating Trump. And I can't think of who, Bernie Sanders, Gavin Newsom. I mean, you name it. Hillary Clinton, Big Mike. Who's going to go in there?
That's the problem with the Democrats. They don't have nobody. They got nobody, and everybody they do have is pure trash. Like Gavin Newsom, you saw with California, people are fleeing California left and right, the homelessness and all that. They only clean up the homelessness, and if Xi Jinping from China shows up, they'll clean it up then. But you're like, hold on, you could clean up all this homelessness within 3 days because this guy's coming to visit. And then,
it's not just that; it's the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that they had these funds that they were going to take care of the homeless problem, and then when they audit it, they're like, "What happened to this $50 million?" You're like, "Well, we spent $100 million on this. I know, but what about this other $50 million? I don't know. I don't know where it went." They're lining their pockets, and it's just like big farm. You're not getting paid to solve the problem, because if you solve the problem, there is no problem to throw money at. You got to continue, you want to keep it a problem so you can continue to throw money at the problem, so you can continue throwing a portion of that money, 10% for the big guy, in your pocket. And that's the way it works. So there is no money in fixing or curing anything. And that's why California is such a high crime and, homelessness. There's no way that Gavin Newsom, his California ideas and the way he's running California, that the rest of the America is going to say, "Oh yeah, I'll vote for him because he has a nice head of hair and he's younger." It's not going to happen. I think you have a better chance with RFK Jr.
Yeah, Junior would be, but you know what I'm saying? He's okay. He's okay, but it's like a hotel. You know what I'm saying? Like if you own a hotel, you got, say, just 100 rooms, and you're only filling 50% of it. You're like, okay, what can we do to make this better? And you do this and do that, because the name of the game is you got all these rooms, you want to rent them out. It's like the same thing the hospitals do. You know what I'm saying? It's like the food pyramid was upside down. So it's all been one big lie with the COVID and all that's coming out. So it should be interesting what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. But I feel like these politicians, we send them in there to correct all the nonsense and all the lies and all this, but they just sit around. It's just like how you had Steve Bannon just went to jail. You got Jordan Peterson's in jail, all for that fake January 6th stuff. But Hunter Biden, he don't show up to test why he was under subpoena. So, I mean, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's ass backwards, and people are starting to see it, and hopefully they'll wake up. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they try to steal the 2024 election, I mean, once Biden wins 2024, would you think what are his actual odds of winning in 2024? You would think
0. I mean, he has to cheat, obviously, to get to where he's going. He definitely has to cheat to get where he's going. There's no doubt about that. I mean, because everywhere.
Show you. This is what a typical Trump rally, I would say, would look like, right? Full. You got a ton of people here that have been here, like I said.
I mean, everywhere Trump goes, there's these huge crowds. And then, like, even in this one, you look behind, and then there's just all these people. And this is New Jersey. This is Biden country. And Biden goes somewhere and there's 100 people who show up. How can you possibly have anyone believe that Joe Biden got more votes than Donald Trump when this many people show up for Trump and not for Biden?
Well, didn't Biden get 81 million votes?
No, allegedly. I mean, come on.
And people love him, bro. People love Biden.
Allegedly.
He's your grandpa's president. You know what I'm saying? You got to cut him some slack. It's grandpa. Let him rock in the chair. Make a couple executive orders. You know what I'm saying? Come out there, get some State of the Unions. You'd be like, oh, it's grandpa. He's okay. That's what you want, right? That's what you want in a leader. That's what you want as your CEO. Guy at the gas station. Like, he don't ring up everything. He just let it slide. It's grandpa. Exactly. He gave me that free Snickers. No worry. He's cutting your bottom line. He's cutting everything.
The guy at Walmart, he doesn't want to ring up your beer that's under the cart, your sodas or whatever.
He's cool. It's like, oh, it's grandpa.
Yeah.
Slide it on through. You need some more immigrants? Bring some more immigrants in here. No big deal. No big deal.
If Joe Biden was applied for a job at Walmart, he'd be fucking passing out smiley face stickers when people walk in. Am I right?
I don't even know if he could stand up and do the shift.
They wouldn't put him in no corporate CEO position. That's for sure.
Nah, he would need a chair, definitely.
So, did you see the Stephen A. Smith on Howard Stern's talking about he would love to interview, he would love to debate Donald Trump?
Yeah, I saw some of that. I thought it was pretty funny. But Stephen A. Smith, he's okay. He's coming around though. I see he's doing a lot more stuff against Joe Biden and all this corruption. So I think he's just trying to make some noise out there. But who even watches Howard Stern anymore? Howard Stern became such a disappointment. Such a disappointment.
Yeah, Howard just, I don't know. He got so fucking woke. I mean, that's another Hollywood. He's doing the America's Got Talent and all that kind of stuff. And he just got so damn woke. I stopped listening to him. This is like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. You went that long? I got serious for a little bit, but I was like, oh, I can't. He was just awful. I used to love Stern. You know what I'm saying? He would just.
Well, back when I was driving every day and you're sitting in traffic every day, you know, it was nice because the Sirius, you could pause it and then play it back later and you can listen to the show. And, you know, I mean, you're on the road anyway, so you don't have to be, you know, Sirius satellite radio, you know, not terrestrial radio or satellite radio. You're like, wow, that's cool. I need to have it. But then Howard and Bubba the Love Sponge and all that. Howard, unfortunately, I don't know if he's getting old, but just super, you know, radical left leaning. And he wanted every single person on his show to be leaning left. And Ronnie, the limo driver, he was like, you know, strippers and whores and Donald Trump and NASCAR. Hell yeah. But they roasted the hell out of him to damn near kicked him off the show. And he had to swear that he was going to vote for Joe Biden. They, you know, gassed him up and needled him so much. It was like, it's just so tough to listen to that. I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, me, myself, I'm, you know, pro Donald Trump, but listening to Howard Stern being so Democrat, but then again, he's fucking running. He's in New York City.
He used to be so anti-establishment, though. You know what I'm saying? He was all anti-establishment. He used to rag on celebrities and all that. And people still, they loved him for that. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to run for governor. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's just like, it's like he just went way, like the needle was over here. He's like sort of in the middle. He was like us, you know, he was just riffing on you, you know, right in front of your back, but he still was nice about it. But you know what I'm saying? He was trying to get a couple laughs. And then he just went full blown tilt. You know what I'm saying? He's straight up.
If there was like Trump and Howard Stern debate, that would be a good one.
Yeah, well, Trump used to go on Stern all the time.
I know.
He was went to Stern's wedding, and then he just turned on him. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't really trust anybody no more. It looks like it's like they're just in it for themselves. It looks like, and I don't know. Howard hasn't been the same. And what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump.
I think Stephen A. Smith, who's that? The white boy that he's always arguing with. He used to, at least. On ESPN.
Baylor. He used to be Skip Bayless.
Skip Baylor, dude. It was just like Skip Baylor was the fucking punching bag for Stephen A. Smith on a daily basis. I remember just watching that and just everything it was like, oh, this person caught a cut touchdown, and somehow it just got to some kind of racism because Baylor said something and he was just teeing off on him on a daily. I don't think that Stephen A. Smith would do that to Donald Trump. I think he's been in an environment where he always wins and he always gets, no one wants to say anything to him, but I don't think he would have that same success with Trump. Here's a little clip of that on Howard Stern.
Ever run for office?
Hell no. Hell no.
You know why?
No.
You're making a lot of money.
That's right. Right
doing
there.
Your thing.
Stop right
there. Stop right there.
Listen,
What?
I'm not going to give up. I'm on Howard Stern show, man. Let me be very, very candid. I'm not giving up my quality of life to earn $400,000 a year and be stressed every day.
Exactly.
It ain't happening. Okay, so
that's right.
It's that simple to me. Can I confess to you, though? I will. People going to call me crazy.
I'm going to take a pee break.
Obviously, I have my show First Take on ESPN every weekday morning, right?
Yes.
It's a debate show. I would love to be in a presidential debate. Nothing.
I think you do great.
Oh my! No, I'd eat him alive.
Yeah, but you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't run for the presidency, but I'd debate Trump any day of the week. Any day of the week. Name the time and place, and I'd show up.
Yeah, I believe it. Oh, Stephen A. Smith on Howard Stern. I'm going to play this little video file right here that I got. I got Tucker. Love some Tucker. And what else do we have here? Let's go. Trump's. Full battle. There you go, young fella.
Yeah, I like Stephen A. Smith. He's doing good things. He's
turning around to Trump now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. This is what I can't stand. Like I don't know if people aren't paying attention, but when I hear somebody say they're going to vote for Joe Biden, I feel like they got something in their closet they're trying to hide. That's the only thing I can think of. Like if you just looked at the differences between, like, you want America to be great and be the best country in the world, or do you just want to keep sending millions and billions of dollars to Israel or Ukraine and all these wars and all this nonsense when you got all this bull duty going on here in America? Homeless, vets, all this stuff. People are struggling with gas, rent, mortgage, groceries. Everything's just out of control. It's just like nobody's paying attention. I mean, but the people are paying attention now because it's hitting their pocketbook. So,
yeah, no kidding. You got that shit right, man. You got that shit right. I mean, Trump did a good job, and I think Trump's doing a really good job right now being quiet, because everyone's talking about Joe Biden, and it has nothing to do with Trump. He didn't say nothing. He doesn't need to go over there and grandstand. Everyone's attacking Joe Biden. Just let those dominoes hit each other and knock each other over. Fake news is actually all over Biden, which is surprising to see that, actually.
Yeah, they turned real fast, and they got the pedal down a little bit. I mean, it was full throttle after the debate. They're like, oh, he's got to go. Joe's horrible. This. And then they had to dial it back, because I think Obama put out a tweet like, people have bad debates, but that's not a bad debate. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we were talking about Grandpa earlier. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can treat Grandpa nice, but this is the president of the United States of America. This isn't Grandpa. You want somebody who can come in there and knows what the hell they're talking about. Like, if I was going to hire somebody to do Christmas lights, I'm not going to hire the guy that scoops the dog doo-doo out the backyard. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hire Kingdom Christmas lights,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing like, oh, the homeless guy down the street? Oh, yeah, let him be president. That's basically what they're doing. It's like it's a smack in the face what they're doing, and people don't care. It's just...
Well, it's worse than Watergate. The fact this is like one of the biggest cover-ups in the world, that knowing that he's, cannot physically do it, but they keep propping him up there, and all he's doing is reading the teleprompter, but he cannot actually make the decisions himself. It's so freaking dangerous. But going over here, I think the next thing we have here is the White House press conference. So after the debate, Kim Jong Pierre, you talk about a difficult job. Now, I know that there's no way to fire her, because the way that she was hired is also the way that you can't fire her, because you hired her for a reason, and now you cannot fire her. But she's working her ass off. I don't know if they're trying to make her quit, but check out this shit. This is today from the White House press conference.
Had a cold. He had a hoarse voice. You all heard it.
Is that it wasn't just that he had a cold, but rather he had, answers. He was trailing off. He didn't answer some question. So I guess I wondered if there's been any consideration given to releasing a more robust set of medical records.
We have been transparent. We have released thorough reports from his medical team. We understand it was a bad night.
They've released medical records. Have you seen any doctor records from Joe Biden that says here's his physical, as a cognitive test, anything like that?
No,
anything.
I think they released like his weight and stuff like that. His cholesterol.
I don't think they've released anything.
But they're not releasing, like, he couldn't do a test. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it's the same thing with that Robert Hur. Like, they don't want that audio out. They released the transcript because the transcripts, they left out all the stutters and all that stuff. But when you hear it, like we did at the debate, you're like, holy shit, this guy, he's donezo.
Mm-hmm. Here's the rest of this shit.
It's not uncommon for incumbents to have a bad night on their first debate.
Did the president get examined by a doctor, or did he get a neurological scan?
A neurological scan? Look, what I can say is that, just to take a step back, it was a bad night. We understand that it was a bad night.
Okay, well, you continue to say it was just a bad night, but is there an explanation then for why it was so bad? If it's not his stamina, if he prepared, as you guys say, for so long, if it's not a problem with his mental fitness,
What happened that night? What did we see?
I will also add that the president also spoke to this as well. He said, I'm not as smooth as I used to be. I don't debate as well as I used to. I don't walk as easily as I used to.
Is anyone in the White House
All the
hiding
candidates you want in a president.
information about the president's health or his ability to do the job day to day?
Absolutely not.
If this is an episode or is this is a condition, which one is it?
Well, what I can tell you is that
And this is the fake news blowing him up. It's not like Peter Ducey from Fox, and he's the only one asking the tough questions and trying to, in the back. This is all the fake news asking him all these questions. So, under fire, shots fired.
he had a cold and a bad night. I would see this as what it was and what we believe it to be, which is it was a bad night. And he did, on top of that, he had a cold. And I think also the president saying, I am not a young man. I'm not as a smooth talker as I used to be. I believe this was in this instance, it was a bad night.
Dr. O'Connor, in that memo, described the president as, quote, a healthy, active, robust 81-year-old male who remains fit to successfully execute the duties of the presidency. I think that is clearly not what the majority of Americans are seeing.
We get it. We do. We get it. We get what Americans are feeling. That's why he's acknowledging he's not a young man. That's why he's acknowledging he's a little slower than he used to be in walking.
Joe.
Yeah, I mean, she's working her ass off here. I will say that. She is trying her best to spin this to it was a bad night. He had a cold.
No,
he had
a cold. It didn't seem like he had a cold to me.
And then she goes on to say, well, you're the one that pointed out that he started out and his voice was hoarse. And then since he was doing so bad, I didn't point this out. You did, that he probably had a cold, and it's confirmed he did have a cold. But it goes on from here, poor thing.
And not as smooth as speaking. We get that, any of you. No, let me just finish.
The administration strongly criticized the media for clips showing the president appearing to be confused, freezing at times, and you called it cheap fakes, misinformation, disinformation. In one case, even implied that it was the product of artificial intelligence, calling it deep fakes. Do you have any regret over using that language?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's been, the reason I ask is like the administration's response to our questions often seems to be, don't believe your lying eyes. The border is secure. Afghanistan withdrawal was a success. Inflation's transitory. So is that going to change?
I mean, you just laid out, Jackie, you just got a bunch of things. So just give me a second here. I think it's a give and take. This is what makes what we do in this room almost every day. This is an exercise of democracy. This is an exercise of freedom of the press. That's what we're doing here. And I think if there's some reporting that we don't believe to be true, I think it's okay if we go back and forth and say, actually, we don't think that reporting is true, right? And so I don't see anything wrong with that.
50 million plus Americans saw the debate last Thursday. They get a very different story from you. You just described a very different sounding president. Obviously, other administration officials described him very differently than what people saw. How do you reconcile those two versions?
It was a bad night. That's what we believe it to be. We're not taking away what people saw. We're just not. Want to be very clear about that. You heard the hoarse voice. We were able to confirm he had a cold. He was under the weather, obviously. We all have bad nights. I just said there have been most incumbents, for their first debate. It doesn't go well.
Now, let me ask you this, Rebel. Donald Trump damn near had to beg for this debate. And now that he just clobbered him, if Biden says, hey, I want to debate again, does Trump like, nah, I'm good. Or do you debate him again?
Yeah, I think you debate him again just to put him back out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to – I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The next debate's not till September, so it's going to be what? That's like a month, 2 months, basically. So Biden's not going to get better. He's not going to get better. So that one's even going to be probably even crazier.
Oh, they already did the other debate?
No, they did this one, and the next one is scheduled in September.
Oh,
And
they
that's
have one
it.
scheduled?
Yeah, they have one scheduled. That was the rules. That one's going to be on ABC with basically the same type of rules and stuff like that. So
no audience,
muted mics.
There's no way you can have an audience with Trump bringing all those people. It'd be ridiculous. But you could tell Biden, as Trump was saying stuff to Biden, he was like making reactions as if there was an audience, but there was no one there. He's like,
yeah. I think Biden can't have people in the audience either, because they're going to give him as Genocide Joe. You know what I'm saying? The Palestinians and Israel and all that. So they can't have that. They had to shut that college stuff down. That lasted for like 2-3 weeks, all those protests. But at the end of the day, I mean, Joe Biden is not going to get any better. And he has a lot of stuff on the schedule today, right? He met with the governors and he has some other stuff. So it's going to be curious what happens next week. If he's not out by next week, they're going to ride him, I think.
Well, this is a heart-to-heart. Today, with all the Democratic governors that came in, this is a heart-to-heart. Like, whoever's pulling the strings and who's the puppeteer, the ventriloquist that's got his arm in his back and he's making him say all these things, or kind of like that Weekend at Biden's kind of thing that you and I had that Photoshop doing. Whoever's pulling the strings has got to be like, hey, Joe, the donors want their money back. You're not going to win. We want a chance of winning. We cannot give up the White House. We cannot let Trump win at any cost. And America is not voting for you. We already have probably about 5 million fake votes that we're going to, send in there. So you have a 5 million to 10 million vote advantage that we're just going to throw in there. The Democrat Party already has a blanket 30% is automatically 35%, no matter Democrat. So you have that on the base. But my God, man, there's just no way that you're going to beat Trump. We need to call an audible right now, or we need to give people their money back. But there's just no chance you're going to win. It's just going to be an absolute freaking embarrassment.
Yeah, there's some people saying it could be like Reagan, where he was winning like blue states and all that. It was like the hugest margin. The Electoral College was like in the 400s. So, and that's what the Democrat probably governors are worried about, because some of them are probably up for election, and then they have Democrats, the down ballots in all the states, and all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh, Joe Biden's a Democrat, I'm voting all ours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe it could be like a clean sweep, the House, the Senate. So, your mayors, all your local races, it's going to be crazy. I mean, the same thing that's going on in France right now with that Macron's on his way out. So there's a big awakening going on everywhere, so hopefully the world's waking up, and hopefully we don't get into World War III with Putin or anything like that, because they seem to keep poking the bear over there. So
I know
it's time to tighten up.
Here's the polling right here. It's so you have, of course, California and Washington State and Oregon, right there on the West Coast. The closest one's to China. They're Democrat, except for Alaska. But you have all those Democrat. You have Colorado and New Mexico. And then you have some of them that are facing the Northeast. But I think Virginia, no. I think New York, there's a chance. Definitely Wisconsin, there's a chance. Virginia, he's looking good in Virginia. New Jersey, he looks good. I wouldn't say that Trump is definitely out of there. I think there's more red on this map than what this one's showing.
Yeah, and I don't even know how the polls, how they're saying the black vote, black males are voting towards Trump, he lost a 20% drop. I guess the poll used to be 40% was always voting Democrat, but then they had a big drop off, and then the Latinos and all that used to vote Democrats, but then they dropped off. But then somehow Trump and Biden are sort of neck and neck, or Trump's up by a point.
I know.
So I think that's all a lie. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting. And I guess Trump has that whole thing, too big to fail. Get out and vote like you're down 10 points. So that's why I'm saying 2020, I thought Trump was going to win. And
he did win.
Well, technically he didn't, but we know he did, because there was that spike in the middle of the night all of a sudden, and they were boarding up all the rooms with cardboard and pulling out suitcases everybody saw. But all that went to court, but no judge wanted to hear it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to hear it because I guess they didn't want their houses blown up or burnt down.
Even in Fulton with Fannie Mae, you see they had the trial that happened recently with Young Thug. And then they sent the Young Thug's attorney to jail for contempt for holding out. The judge went behind it to one of the lead witnesses and offered him an immunity deal. And then all of a sudden, Young Thug's attorney found out about it, and then it ended up putting him in jail. And then they turned it around. Fannie Willis. And then also the election interference case there in Georgia, that when they actually found it was 350,000 votes. I mean, talking about, this is Fulton County, 350,000 votes that never went through the machine. And Trump was talking about it. I have the whole entire recording from Georgia, but here's a little clip that I put together. And this is his actual recording of him talking about the election results, trying to figure out what's going on. It's right here.
On a jail like a mother. A large group of ballots came in. I think it was to Fulton County, and they just happened to be 100% Biden, even though Trump won the military by a lot, a tremendous amount. But these ballots were 100% for Biden. And you know about that? A very substantial number came in, all for Biden.
No, it couldn't be me.
Not me. Couldn't be me. Not me.
Yeah. They love to cheat. Democrats love to cheat. You know what I'm saying? They've been cheating for a long time.
But we get back to.
I think I've litigated this
Jim Calm
a lot already in this briefing. I just don't have anything else to add.
How are Americans supposed to get the sense that the president is fully engaged and capable and thinking off the cuff when he's reading from prepared remarks so often? And why can't he just come down here? The briefing room's 30 seconds away. Yeah. Why can't he come down here and assure us and the American people that he's okay? All of us saw what happened on Thursday, where he simply could not form coherent answers to many or some, if you will, of the questions, and appeared to lapse into nonsensical answers at the end. We beat Medicare, for instance. I'm going to ask something delicate, and you may not like it. The president may not like to hear it if he's watching, but I think the American people need to get a yes or no answer on this. Does President Biden, at 81 years old, have Alzheimer's, any form of dementia, or degenerative illness that would cause these sorts of lapses? And it's a yes or no question. And if you don't know, why don't you, as one of his senior staff members, know?
I have an answer for you. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
It's a no. And I hope you're asking the other guy the same exact question. Okay, thanks.
So this is all like, you need to be asking Trump if he has these problems, because he's not the only person who's 80. Why are you picking on Joe Biden? And the whole thing was just downhill from there, bro. Downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Biden's... I don't know. I mean, I've been covering this since I started my YouTube channel like a year ago, year and a half, I guess. And because, I was like, something's got to give. But it's just, the corruption just runs deep. It runs deeper and deeper. You saw with the 51 intelligence officers and all that about the Russian disinformation. But then the laptop is in on the Hunter Biden trial with his gun charge and all that. So I don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it. I don't trust any politicians no more. I don't trust the whole FDA with the whole COVID stuff. That just seems to have been nonsense. Like, hold on, wait a minute. You're vaccinated and you're still wearing a mask. So does it work? Does it not work? I got to wear a mask too to protect you, but you're vaccinated and you're wearing a mask. Isn't that what the mask is supposed to? It's just all the misinformation they gave us. And I guess it's time, you know what I'm saying? It's time for us as Americans to take America back, make America great again. That's the only thing we can do.
Going to jail like I'm out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Jail, baby. We're going to jail.
Speaking of someone who's not going to jail, the sentencing for Donald Trump was supposed to be July 11th. And now all of a sudden, there's a little July 11, 2024 sentencing date, therefore vacated. The the court's decision will be rendered off calendar on September 6th, 2024, and the matter is adjourned to September 18th at 10 a.m. for the imposition of sentence, if such is still necessary, or other proceedings. Now that the Supreme Court said that you're immune, a president is immune of things that was done for during official business. And the Democrats on MSNBC, they took the opportunity to say that Trump, they already know Trump's going to win. Trump, when he becomes president, that he is going to get Navy SEAL Team 6 and he's going to just assassinate his opponent and you're never going to get him out of president. I mean, it's like when the Supreme Court says this, that way, when Donald Trump actually becomes president, he doesn't spend his whole entire presidency fighting these legal battles from the Biden DOJ. They don't see it like that. The narrative they push is he's going to be assassinating people with SEAL Team 6. It's like, that's a stretch.
No, it's fake. You can't do it. It's Constitution. You're still the Constitution, but that's the misinformation they want to give you. Like, oh, he could just do this. He can become king now. But I mean, it's all in the Constitution, but they don't pay attention to the Constitution. They want to, like I saw AOC was talking about how she wants to send something to the Supreme Court and get rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. And it looks like it's going to remain that way for a long time. I mean, even Trump, I mean, if Trump gets in this time and he now knows like you can't have Bill Barr no more. You can't have none of these sneaky snakes that are going behind your back like Mike Pence. Mike Pence should have did the right thing and he should have sent the electorals back. But no, Mike Pence been there a long time. Him and the Fly are best friends, so they couldn't do that. The Fly's like, nah, don't do that. Don't do that, Mikey. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm too woken up to all the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in dinosaurs, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm wild. I'm a wild cat. So what do you?
Well, speaking of wild cat, Hunter Biden did get his felonies. And ever since then, he's been with Joe Biden. And as a matter of fact, here is from the U.S. House of Representatives, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has confirmed that Hunter Biden is attending official White House meetings involving the president and his staff. I write to request a full accounting of any classified information discussed or disclosed in these meetings. According to the news reporting, the president's son, suddenly his presence at official meetings has caused confusion for some White House staff, prompting a reaction of, what the hell is happening? It's disturbing to learn these events have transpired in the West Wing, especially via news sources. It is unclear what official meetings and phone calls Hunter Biden is participating in, and what capacity, and whether these discussions include classified information. An immediate response is requested. Please notify the committee of official meeting Hunter Biden is participating in, and if classified information is being disclosed now that Hunter Biden is allegedly taking meetings with the president. It's like bring your son to work day, but we already have a history of Hunter Biden, patching up these things from China and 10% to the big guys. And now that Hunter Biden is taking all the official duties of the president, in a sense, Hunter Biden is kind of like the president in a way, since Joe Biden is incapable of doing it and Hunter Biden is not getting the eviction notice. This whole thing is getting crazy.
Yeah, I think it's just, you remember how they had that fake White House across the street where they set up the studio where Joe Biden was taking shots? I think that's where they put Joe Biden, Hunter, and Jill. And the rest of them are in the White House making all the real decisions. And then they just bring out the show ponies. And because Hunter, Joe Biden's probably like, I would need to see my son. Let's see what my son got to say. Okay,
he's
Joe,
the smartest guy I've ever met.
Yeah, he's a crackhead. That's what he is. So
and then there's that. This is fake news. MSNBC, here's what they had to say about Hunter Biden now taking over the White House. I mean, of all things.
It's a great thing, probably.
Breaking news. Yeah. We're now learning that Hunter Biden is attending some of the president's meetings at the White House, staying close to his father post-debate. NBC's Monica Alba is reporting from Washington, D.C. What more can you tell us, Monica?
Well, these are new details coming in to our team, Chris, along with my colleagues, Kristen Welker, Mike Memley, and Sarah Fitzpatrick. We have learned from sources familiar with the situation at the White House that Hunter Biden has been by his father's side ever since they were at Camp David this weekend as a family, where they had some discussions about the president's potential path forward here and his re-election campaign, and that since he returned from Camp David last evening with his father, we understand that Hunter Biden has even joined some meetings meetings and conversations that have taken place between the president and some of his most senior advisors and senior staff. And while we should note that it's not unusual for Hunter Biden to be at the White House, to be in the residence, to be attending certain White House events, which we have certainly seen time and time again over the last 3.5 years, where we have seen photos of him and where he has appeared in public. It is unusual, according to the people we spoke with, for him to be participating at this level and to have the sort of regularity of some of these contacts and conversations with senior staff. We understand, again, since returning yesterday from Camp David, where they were more huddled as a family, to now as the president has resumed some of his more traditional meetings at the White House.
So this is like super freaking scary. This is like super classified information, with only this classification can get into this room and only that classification can get into that room. He's in all the rooms handling the meetings with and for dad. And this guy is also convicted felon in the White House, but not voted in, just bringing your son to work and letting your son be the president for what you know to be your last 4 months on earth as president.
Yeah, I think the hit is in. You know what I'm saying? The media's in. They're throwing out Hunter and all that. They know how people feel about Hunter. They know he's crooked, like you were saying, with the diamonds and all that in Russia, the Ukraine being on Burisma board. It's all done for him, as you know what I'm saying. It looks like the hit job is out. I just don't know. The problem is they need Joe to say he's going to go. And maybe Joe's like, you can ride all this in the press you want. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. I don't care.
How would you well, he already said that. How do you get him out? You say, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a doctor make this decision. Let's go to a doctor. Let's talk to your physician. And I want you to allow us to get to speak with him and interview him. I want to hear a medical professional say that you're good and you can handle this job, because taking daily naps, only working from 11 to 4, taking 46% of your vacation off. I mean, what if something happens? You blame the debate lack of performance on jet lag, and the jet lag was 10 days ago. So anytime you fly somewhere, you're not worth a shit for 10 days. Or you can't make decisions, or you're a babbling idiot after you flew somewhere 10 days. I mean, the president's supposed to be flying all over the place. Speaking of which, there's a hurricane heading towards the south part of the United States in Texas and Louisiana, maybe, or something. You know, you're going to need to act quick and you're going to need to pull levers. I mean, Joe Biden has the country on cruise control.
What if the doctor is Dr. Fauci? Would you trust his opinion?
Well, that is an interesting poll. Who's more trustworthy, Dr. Pepper or Dr. Fauci?
Dr. Fauci, bro. He's the best doctor ever. Everybody knows that. Make sure you get your booster, people. Get your booster. COVID is back out, baby. It's back out. I need y'all to stay safe. I need y'all to make sure you like and sub up to the show. And let's get this going, baby. You know what
we got 3 more boosters. We got 3 more boosters.
I'm on 17 right now, and I feel great. I have not died. Okay.
I haven't got an open heart surgery yet.
No, I haven't had an open heart. I have not had a blood clot. None of that. It's all lies. You can't trust MAGA, baby. You can't trust MAGA. Donald Trump lied the whole debate. We know that. I don't know what he lied about, but he lied about the whole debate they told him.
I know. Hey, what do you think the chances are of Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris, 100%, bro. First African female president. Got my vote.
She probably can do a better job than Joe Biden. I just don't think.
I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I think like Kamala Harris was a VP choice where it's like you can't have like, Cam Newton in backup. You know what I'm saying? As soon as the starter starts messing up, or you can't have Brett Favre in the backup position. So they're like, Joe Biden is Joe Biden. They knew exactly what he was. Dementia, can't do this. They're like, who can we put behind Joe Biden where they're not like, oh, get rid of Joe. They're like, Kamala, get Kamala. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody takes her serious. I just saw something the other day where she's saying, you don't know if you never know. It was something like that.
She said that. She says that same thing over and over.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I saw it. And there was like hundreds and hundreds of her saying this same exact quote. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue what the hell that means. It was wild. I think Tucker had it or something. It was.
I have it. I have it.
Yeah.
Benny Johnson had it.
But it was Russell Brand, I think, had it.
Here's a little clip from Kamala on The View, and I'll grab it real quick.
Are you scared? Are you scared? Are you scared? First of all, what could happen if Trump ever became, God forbid, president again? And what are you going to do to stop the crazies?
I am scared. I am scared. I am scared as heck.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm traveling our country. You know, there's an old saying that there are only two ways to run for office, either without an opponent or scared. So on all of those points, yes, we should all be scared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But as we know, and certainly this is a table of very powerful women, we don't run away from something when we're scared. We fight back against it.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't have a chance of being the president of the United States. I don't think. I mean, she has a chance.
This is scary, bro. It's like idiots making the laws and all that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? What's the person that says you could just literally go through the phone book and call someone up and they could probably run better country than these people that we're sending in there? I think they're all plants. They're all AIPAC plants. It's all the United States of Israel and all that stuff. You hear about Thomas Massey's wife? Thomas Massey's wife just recently passed away, I believe last week. But Thomas Massey also came out and talked about AIPAC. AIPAC is the American Israel. They, you know, it's like they give money to politicians and all that. But I guess every politician in Congress has a Israel representative, and they get certain money and all that. And Thomas Massey's wife, who was like 50, just died. I mean, I know people die at 50, but it's very rare. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know what the percentage is, but
suspicious.
It's suspicious. It's like another thing on down the line. It's like, you know, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff out of Florida just came out, and you're seeing all that stuff. Like he was a Mossad agent, and the same thing with Puff Daddy. Got another one coming out. Old Puff Daddy was out here. Did you hear about this? This was wild.
What happened?
Puff Daddy, I guess, had another thing. He had the whole thing with his ex-girlfriend Cassie and all that. But this was a new one where I guess some lady wanted a job, I guess at Sean John. That was his clothing line back in the day.
Yeah.
But he said he said to her, the only way you're going to get this job allegedly is if your husband goes down on me. It's like, wow. Yeah. So that was a new lawsuit.
Did she get the job?
It sounds like some people would take that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Did he get the job?
If you could do 100 malls in America with Kingdom Christmas lights, but all you had to do was go down on Puffy, would you?
That'd be a no.
What? Wrong answer, bro. You're going to get 1,000 malls?
Yeah, a man who builds 1,000 bridges. You know what I'm saying? And I think you know the rest of the story. But I don't know, man. Kamala just...
It's more gay not to, bro. It's more gay not to.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so. I'll take your word for it, bro. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand how Kamala Harris could possibly even be a president or effective president. But Joe brought her on for a reason, strategically brought her in there, but knowing that she's not qualified. I mean, what was she? She was the fucking DA.
She was supposed to bring like the black vote, right? She was supposed to bring
absolutely black
it.
female. That's what it is. I mean,
like
it would be like bringing Alvin Bragg, a DA, bringing him in, and he just goes from DA to the president of the United States, just from one to the next. Boop. No Congress, no nothing. I mean, at least Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, at least they're business leaders and they're CEOs and they know how to run big companies and things like that. But Kamala Harris, just a DA, that's the only experience you have? No, I don't see how it's even possible.
Well, Willie Brown helped her out. You know what I'm saying? Willie Brown put her on the path, and then she dated Montel Jordan and all that stuff. So
you see, wild. Trump says that Trump seems to think that Kamala is going to be the.
She can't beat Trump. Who can beat Trump? Who do you think could beat Trump? Like Michelle Obama? Do you think she could beat Trump? The media would be happy about that.
I don't think anybody can beat Trump right now. I think the Trump train is no stopping it. But this is Trump talking about it on the golf course.
Oh yeah, I saw this. I didn't watch this yet.
Look at that old broken down pile of crap. Yeah.
He handing out money. Look at that man.
Is that right? Yep, I got him out of it. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. She's so fucking bad. So I just can't imagine. But can you imagine that guy dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him. They probably can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting. Good. Yeah, that's amazing. Just keep knocking him out. Huh?
Trump. You said fucking Kamala, dude.
She a bomb, bro. She's a moron. We knew she was a moron, and she's got that nervous laughter where she just cackles at everything. You can't take her serious. Even when she was on the debate stage and all that, I felt like Mike Pence ate her up. And then when she was in the primaries with like Tulsi Gabbard ate her up, like she was literally locking up people for smoking weed. And then she's giving out interviews talking about how she's smoking weed. So, I mean, this is the hypocrites that we're dealing with. It's all nonsense. It's time to wake up, baby. You got to get out, register to vote. We're getting down to the end of the line for people to get out and register to vote. That's the only way we're going to get out this mess. You got to go vote.
Hey, speaking of Joe Biden warming up on the black people, check this one out. You remember this fucking thing?
Oh, what is this? What is this? Biden likes the dark meat.
Something
he like that dark meat. I mean,
something's going on over there.
I thought he was like admiring his tattoo, but he was just staring him in the eyes the whole time. It looked like.
Yeah, it's one of those like my mind keeps telling me no, but my body. I mean, it was just
what they say, bro. Once you go black, you don't go back.
Is that what they say? I didn't know that.
They used to say that in the 90s, but I didn't think that was true.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that. I'm still looking for that saying that Kamala says, "Oh, unburdened by what has been."
Don't be burdened by the burden because you can't fear the burden. Yeah, I think it was Russell Brand. It was Russell Brand.
You know what can be?
Yeah,
unburdened by what has been. What can be?
Yeah. What is this?
Unburdened by what has been. What can be? Unburdened by what has been. What can be? Unburdened by what has been. What we can see, what we believe can be, unburdened by what has been. What can be? Unburdened by what has been. What can be? Unburdened by what has been. What can be? Unburdened by what has been. What can be?
I mean, this video goes on forever and ever. But from
what does that mean, though?
From what I understand, her handlers say she refuses to do any kind of debate prep. And not that Joe Biden is the walking spokesperson for debate prep, but that's what her handler says. She just does not do any debate prep. As a matter of fact, she has on record that she's only working like 5% of the time, clocking in and actually doing anything.
I don't know what he does. I don't know what Joe Biden does. They're not there at the White House. They don't do nothing.
They don't do anything.
Like you saw Trump all the time, every day. Every day he was out. Sometimes he even came to the press briefings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Joe Biden, how many times have we seen probably Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the last 3.5 years?
Presidential, what's it called? The first time you actually heard him say anything was State of the Union address. After he's been a president
that was the last time he was like out in front of public, right?
And I'm not even 100% convinced he had teleprompters there too. So I mean, I don't know the last time you've seen him without a teleprompter that hasn't been scripted.
The debate, I guess that was it. Other than that, it would probably been pre, right? It would have been pre, because before he knew like questions, right? Remember he'd call on like ABC. He knew the question, he knew the answer he was supposed to give. So.
But yeah, she goes on and on and on about this.
Unburdened by who we have been. What can
I don't know what that means.
Unburdened by what has been. Where we can be.
Can you tell me what that
means?
Where
we've been and unburdened by where we are right now. What can be. Unburdened by what has been.
She's the first. I guess she's African American. I mean, I
she's
think
not really even African American.
I would say there's question marks around that, but
right?
she's the first African American female vice president in the history of our country. It's unburdened. There's no longer a burden. It's unburdened by what can be, is the fact that we finally have an African American female vice president and could be a president. And I think that's what the whole
What
thing.
can be should be
What
unburdened.
can be unburdened by what has been.
What
What has
can
been?
be unburdened by what has been.
I guess what can be, I don't
What
know.
could be unburdened by what had been.
Can we
What
ask
can
Chat
be
GPT?
unburdened by what has been.
What can be 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 unburdened by what has been.
Unburdened by what has been, believing in what can be.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
That's her
What can
go-to.
be
I never even
unburdened by
picked
what
this up.
has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened.
Well, you'd have to hear her talk for
Yeah,
you to hear her say this every time she speaks.
By what has been.
I got a
What
question
can
though.
be
Since this has been out,
unburdened.
right? This has been out. This is all over the media. People have been talking about it. Does she use the line again? Or she's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
She won't use it again, right? She's gonna open with it, right?
I have a feeling she's getting ready to say
What can be
unburdened by what has been.
what has
By what
been.
has been.
What can be
Unburdened.
unburdened by what has been.
What can
What has
be
been?
unburdened by what has been.
What could be
What could be?
unburdened by what had been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
It's
What
the same
can
hand
be
movement too, right? Yeah.
unburdened by what has been. What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be, what should be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has
Can't do
been.
it. I
See
can't.
what can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
I mean, it's a. I'm not going to bore anybody with more of that, but this is only halfway through the video. It's only halfway through the video. Dude.
Kamala's probably fun as hell to party with, bro. You get a couple drinks in her, y'all at a party, y'all play truth or dare. Kamala's streaking around the house. You know what I'm saying? You could get her to streak around the house and come back in, skinny dip in the pool. There's all types of stuff.
100. 100. She's definitely engaging into the diversity of the White House. If you haven't seen all the stuff all over
her and Doug, the first, what is he? First male, first, what's first male,
second man,
second gentleman.
Yeah, second gentleman. It's like, you know,
get the fuck out of here.
Second, yeah, I'm the second gentleman.
They wild, bro. They wild.
But he's a politician too. He's a senator or something.
No, I think he's just a regular old Joe, right? He just does like regular stuff. Probably owns a business, I would imagine, right?
No,
Because
no,
Kamala's
no.
just not going to date some scrub, right?
No.
He had to do something.
No. He's a politician. His name is Douglas Emhoff, and he's an American lawyer who's the second gentleman of the United States. He's married to the 49th Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and as the first husband of a vice president, Emhoff is the second gentleman in American federal history. Yeah, so he's a lawyer. Sorry. Yeah.
Good for him.
All right, but I have a little game I want to play with you, and I want to write some stuff down. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to write a few things down. We are going with fantasy draft.
Okay.
We're going with fantasy draft here.
Bronny James getting drafted in the second round.
We got fantasy draft vice president pick for. We have our vice president picks. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. So that would be share this tab instead. Bring it up. All right. So the vice president picks, we got, it's going to start off with this, and we can talk about them if you want to. We're going to go down to the first one. We got the first one that's going to be on the board. We're going to pick later, and we'll flip to see who goes first. But we have Doug Burgum. That would be the governor of North Dakota. I don't think he has a chance in hell.
Didn't he run for president too, right? That's the same guy.
Yeah. And then you have Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Okay. Then you got Vivek Ramaswamy. He's definitely one of those first round draft picks. Businessman, 38 years of age. Absolutely. We have Mark Rubio, senator from Florida.
Little Rubio,
there he is right there.
Okay.
Another person we have is Tim Scott is on the board. Tim Scott.
He's boring.
He's very smart.
Is he?
Yeah. Then we have Governor Greg Abbott. This one I wasn't aware that he was in there. Skeptics turned MAGA. Governor Greg Abbott. Tucker Carlson, TV host. He might be worth a pick, maybe third rounder, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd love to have him as VP.
And then, Kristi Noem, governor of South Dakota.
She was very good until the whole dog thing. People love their dogs. You know what I'm saying?
And she got kicked out of the damn Indian reservation there in South Dakota, and she's not allowed on any reservation land. And, the Native Americans have been pushed to a little piece of land, and then they've completely gotten rid of Kristi Noem. That is wasn't very good for South Dakota with all the Indian reservations there. But 52 years of age, she looks great.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
We have Elise Stefanik, House member of New York. I don't see her even getting selected. We have JD Vance. Oh, what were you saying?
Yeah, she's good too. I like her. She's on board. She's on board with the whole Take America Back agenda.
House member in New York, Blue City. And then we have JD Vance, senator from Ohio. He's another selection.
Tom
Cotton, senator from Arkansas.
I like him.
Ben Carson. I don't see any chance of Ben Carson getting there.
He wasn't even that good at brain surgery either.
I never had my brain operated on him. But Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State.
CIA director, bro. Deep state.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
She's decent. She's good since she's been on Ozepic.
We got Katie Britt.
Okay, yeah. Arizona.
Byron Donalds
from Florida. Great man.
Wesley Hunt.
Don't even know. Oh, that was the guy that just spread out there talking about that's the congressman that just came out. I don't know if you've seen those clips about Donald Trump where he was meeting with like ISIS or something. And they were telling him like, we're going to withdraw out of Afghanistan. And if you harm one American citizen, Donald Trump then pulled out a photo of the ISIS leader's house. And he said, I will blow up your whole house.
Wow.
He basically confirmed that, which Joe Biden would never do that, right? That's what I want in a leader. Like, you're meeting with these people, like, we're going to withdraw from Afghanistan. You harm one American, we're going to kill you. And I think the translator's like, I can't say that. I can't say that. He's like, you tell him that. And then he handed him the picture and Donald Trump walked out. So, he's like, oh, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Yeah.
So Wesley Hunt. And then we got Carrie Lake.
I love Carrie Lake.
Nancy Mace.
Yeah, she's okay. She used to not be MAGA, but came around.
Margie Taylor Greene.
MTG. Yeah, she's nice.
And that's it. So those are the different candidates that we have on the draft board. And I have right here, let me see here. Before we get started, this right here is a penny. There's a heads and there's a tails. I'm going to flip this over here. I want you to call heads or tails.
Okay.
All right. It's up.
Tails.
Let's see here.
Looks like heads to me. Like heads to me.
Definitely heads. Yeah. All right. So we got a heads. Okay. So where do you go with the first round draft pick? Let's see here. I would say if I was going to take someone off the board, I don't know.
So we taking people off?
That's well, we're picking them. So I'm going first round draft pick. I mean, even though it probably won't happen, I just got to go with Vivek Ramaswamy.
Nothing wrong with that. He seems like he's saying all the right things lately. He knows about the deep state.
Hedge fund and biotech. I mean, one of the downfalls about him is that his connections with Big Farm. And that's been and plus he's Hindu, Indian. Some Americans think that he wouldn't be a good person to go with Trump. But he's probably one of the smartest guys. I think he would fight for Trump all the way to the end. I think he can handle any position, unlike Kamala Harris. If you had your starting quarterback goes out and you have Nick Foles sitting on the bench, and then you're going to the Super Bowl and Nick Foles pulls out the Philly special and beats the New England Patriots as a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl. You need one of those Nick Foles type of second string quarterbacks, someone who actually can go out there and win games, from coming off the pine. I like Vivek Ramaswamy. I think he's a great leader. He doesn't need to take 2 weeks to give you an answer. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Vivek Ramaswamy, first round draft pick, first pick overall. Your turn.
Okay. On that list, if I had to choose my VP for Donald Trump, which also the VP would be, you want him to be the next president of the United States. Give me Tucker Carlson, baby. Give me Tucker Carlson.
Rebels got Tucker Carlson.
Give me Tucker. Tucker's in on it. He knows what's up.
Tucker Carlson. That would be interesting, having Tucker Carlson as the... Let me see here.
Oh, he would abolish everything. He would abolish everything. They JFK him, bro. MLK, whatever you want to say.
I don't know. That'd be weird to not even have any kind of CEO leadership kind of ability, to go right from a TV host to the vice president of the United States and could potentially be the president of the United States at some point. Tucker Carlson. That would be far-fetched. I don't know why you would pick him in the first round. That's definitely a fantasy draft, that Tucker Carlson would be the first, whoever you think would be the first.
That's Tom
pick.
Brady with Randy Moss, baby. That's Tom Brady with Randy Moss right there.
All right, I'm going to tell you the person who I think is the second round draft pick for me. Out of all the men and women who are here, I think who would be the best vice president is Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds is a good one.
Byron Donalds, I might be wrong, but whenever you listen to Byron Donalds speak, this dude knows what the hell he's talking about. Byron Donalds, I think, is great. He's 45 years of age, 2-term House member in Florida, entered Congress as Trump left the White House in 2020. Originally from Brooklyn, New York, Donalds moved to Florida to attend college before he took up residence in the southwest part of the state and served in the state house. He is so freaking smart. He's a great leader. He's a great mentor. I think he could be of youth. And Byron Donalds, I think, could really make an impact in the White House as vice president. I think Vivek Ramaswamy might be a better Secretary of State in Trump's cabinet. But Vivek Ramaswamy would be my number 1 pick. Number 2 pick is Byron Donalds. So you got next. You want to flip
All right, my number 2 pick. Give me Carrie Lake, baby. Give me Carrie Lake. She's wide awake. She knows.
Dude, are you fucking serious?
Oh, yeah. I want the people that know the FBI and the CIA and the NSA are running shit. And they know, she knows her election was stolen too. You know what I'm saying? Give me the killers. I want the killers out there.
You're going to make me pick Kristi Noem?
Hey, you pick who you want to pick, baby. This is a draft.
Well, I'm definitely winning this one with those 2 picks.
I already won it.
Let's see here. Margie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace is still on the board. Carrie Lake's off. Wesley Hunt is still on the board. Katie Britt's on the board. Sarah Huckabee, Mike Pompeo, Ben Carson. He's a really good one. Tom Cotton, JD Vance. All right. I'll tell you what, you know what? I know Tim Scott's probably one of the highest picks that you probably can do, but I'm going to go with Governor Greg Abbott. Governor Greg Abbott for a 3rd round draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Abbott's not bad, but I mean, he waited a long time to close his border and all that, but at least he did close his border finally.
Well,
it's not bad.
Governor Abbott is actually in the state of Texas is paying out of the state of Texas's money to continue building the wall when Joe Biden said no. Joe Biden said, stop building that wall. Stop putting that razor wire up there. Stop preventing these people from coming across an Eagle Pass. And Governor Greg Abbott stood his ground. Many states were like, I'm standing with Texas and I'm sending stuff down that I'm going to send down resources and troops and materials and barbed wire or whatever you need down to Texas. Governor Greg Abbott stood his ground. He's a American, true and true. And I know that this is it's not very probable that Greg Abbott would be a selection, but if he was, he's a great man. and he'd make a great vice president. So now we have that one off of there. Who do we have left?
Oh, we got some heavy hitters out here. Still some heavy hitters. I'm in a little dilemma because I already got Tucker. I already got Kerry Lake. I already won with those two. But if you want to hit the grand slam, you're down 3, the bases are loaded, you're up, and you need someone to hit you a home run. Give me MTG, baby. Give me Marjorie Taylor Greene. She works out, she stays healthy, and she knows the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? She knows the deep state. She knows corruption, and she rides MAGA. She's ride or die. You got to love her.
She definitely wears, she's wearing all that MAGA stuff at the, what was it? The State of the Union address?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she, all right, well, you just gave me a softball on this one because she has no chance. You're just picking people who have no chance whatsoever. Let's go with not the up and comer left. Let's go with someone who actually has a chance. Let's go with Tim Scott. He's probably the best one,
brother. Ooh, brother.
Tim Scott. I got Tim Scott off the board.
He's all teeth, bro. Teeth and gums.
But I'm telling you, here's the thing. Here's the thing that troubles me about him. He gets into a debate on The View, and he's a black guy. He's on The View. We're going to see if he can handle his own on The View, because I've seen Ted Cruz go on there and handle them bitches on The View, right?
Yeah.
He handled them, and he didn't take no shit. But Tim Scott, he went on The View, and they were handling him.
Yeah,
and he didn't fare too well on The View. And Tim Scott debating Kamala Harris, looking at those two debating. I don't know, Tim. It's like, I know you're super, super, super smart, but you might be a little too nice for the games that Trump plays. But then again, you need a yin and a yang. But Tim Scott's off the board, man. Who you got?
I can't believe you left out JD Vance, baby. Give me JD Vance. He's a home run hitter. You need a stolen base. That's your man right there. That's your man. Ohio. He knows the real deal stuff. I like to pick people that understand what's really going on in America and that know that it's run deep by the deep state. You know what I'm saying? And he's
a never Trumper, though.
He was at one point, but he came around. That's what I'm saying about all these, like Vivek was like that and all that. That's why I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, can I trust him? But he's saying the right things now. You know what I'm saying? He's like a Kevin McCarthy. He says all the right things and does the opposite.
Yeah. Well, who do we have left here?
You got Hunt, you got Ben Carson out there, you got Little Rubio, you got.
What's the chances of Doug Burgum?
Some people are saying a lot, but I'm like, no. Ooh, brother.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
These are the. I don't know. I don't see Doug Burgum. I don't know. I think maybe Tulsi Gabbard have a better chance. Rubio, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Trump really even needs a vice president, to be honest. But
no, that's why I'm wondering if he'll throw a complete left out there, huh? What? Ivanka.
I go, yeah, some guy off the street. Mike Pompeo.
Ooh, bro. That's deep state, bro. That's deep state 101, Mike Pompeo, bro. The CIA. Oh my goodness. If Trump picks him, I will not vote Donald Trump. I promise you, I will not vote Donald Trump.
All right, who you got now?
Oh, well, what we got left? Give me a.
Hold on, we got Mace,
Nancy Mace.
We got Hunt, Wesley Hunt. We got Katie Britt, and we got Huckabee Sanders. We got Ben Carson.
You know who I want? Give me little Marco Rubio. Give me little Marco Rubio, baby. Why not? He's not. My fourth pick. He's my fourth. He's not number one, but he's number 4. So, my lineup's looking good. If you would have, my lineup's looking way better, bro.
Yeah, let's take a look at this lineup here. So,
way better.
My first round draft pick is, we don't need to pick anyone else. My first round draft pick is Vivek Ramaswamy. And do what?
What?
Do what?
I don't know. The mic might have cut out.
You don't like Vivek Ramaswamy as vice president?
I do, but I don't. I can't trust. I don't understand why. I have this feeling about him. Like I can't trust him. Like, like I said, you were saying with Big Pharma and all that. And I seen him on like CNN back in the day. I don't know. Maybe he just did a 180. He woke up. He's like, oh shit, I was on the wrong side. But he's saying all the right things now.
If you get into a debate with Vivek Ramaswamy, or if you put Ramaswamy and Kamala Harris into a debate, there's just no question. And you put Ramaswamy, he's the hardest working person in politics, even though it's short lived when he went into the politics and got, in Ohio, he was out of there, or Iowa. But but Trump went to like 28 places, and Ron DeSantis in the Republican primary, he went to like 38 or something, and Vivek had like almost 130 different appearances. He was working hard every time he was in a meeting, or if it was reporters, he was turning everything back on them. He was handling those reporters. Nobody was bullying him. He knew exactly what to say, and people did not like that. When he was up on the stage, he was calling them all criminals and crooks, and they were owned by everyone and all this money, and they're paying for them, and they're all paid. And I mean, he was calling it out, and he's going to get rid of the FBI and all that. Vivek Ramaswamy, and Trump together, I think that's the dream team. But will it happen? I'm not sure. But he was my first pick. The first pick for Rockin Roll Rebel, just in case you missed it, he thinks that out of all the people who are the list, let's scroll.
If you would have put out a poll, if you would have put up what you got 4 and I got 4, if you put out a poll, I'll put out a poll. Mine would win, bro. Tucker Carlson,
Carlson, your first round draft pick is Tucker Carlson.
Yes, I want people that are smart and understand how government works.
But you think he's never worked in the government?
Hey, but he reported on it his whole life. He knows. He sees it. He's on the sidelines, shaking his head, whacking the balls. A pair of pom-poms that have never actually been in it. And you're going to do Vivek Ramaswamy? He only been here in this country for like 10 years, bruh.
No, there's three different requirements for to be a president. Do you know what they are?
Born here.
What's your 3 different requirements to be the president of the United States?
You got to be born here. You got to be a certain age. And I don't know what the third one is.
You have to be a natural born citizen. You have to be at least 35 years of age. And the third one is you have to have lived in the United States at least 14 years.
What's it got to do with age, bro? Your age is 35. You're a citizen. You're already here.
Just because you were born here and left the next day.
You didn't know that third one. Just say you didn't know the third one.
What's that?
I don't think you knew that third one. I don't think that's right, bro.
Dude.
14 years to be living here.
You have to have lived in the United States for.
But I thought you had to be like 35 to be president.
You have to be 35 years old. You have to be born here, a natural born citizen. You have to be born here and be a natural born citizen.
Like Obama was in Hawaii.
Allegedly. Yeah, in Hawaii, yeah. So a natural born citizen.
Yeah.
So that's number one. You have to be at least 35 years old. And then you have to have lived in the United States at least 14 years.
Oh, so I see what you're saying. You were born here, but then you went to Germany.
And then you just came back to be president. No.
And then you just came back. Okay.
You have to have lived in the United States at least 14 years.
That's what you were saying. Okay. Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what it is.
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
No,
we're gonna fact check that. You're gonna fact check that.
Are you serious?
I don't know. Hold on. What are the requirements to be United States president?
Although there are few constitutional requirements for the office of the presidency, presidents must be natural-born citizens, at least 35 years of age, and residents of the United States for at least 14 years. There are considerable informal barriers.
Okay.
It's in the Constitution.
Oh, look at you now, old pocket Constitution. Kingdom Radio.
I'm not pocket gods. I'm just telling you what's
pocket
up.
Constitution. Then I love it.
Man. So anyway, Rockin Roll Rebel thinks Tucker Carlson is going to be. That's your first round draft out of all the people.
All of them.
Tucker Carlson.
He's the
And
best
I think Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump, I think that'd be great, man. I think it would be awesome. Tucker Carlson's not afraid to say the right things. Sometimes people think he's saying the wrong things, and he got fired for saying things that ended up being true.
No. He got fired because he was talking bad about Israel. Can't do that.
Well, regardless, he spoke what he said. You know, he said what he thought it was right, and he got fired, and he ended up just his career didn't slow down, didn't stop. He kept going and
blew up, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, he was just in Australia after the debate. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see the whole entire thing. I've seen about maybe 20 minutes of it. But all right, so you think Tucker Carlson? And my second pick was. Now you got me messed up where the hell I was. My second pick,
Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds. I think if I can't have Vivek Ramaswamy, Byron Donalds.
Yeah, it's a strong
100%. 45-year-old, 2-term House member of Florida. I like this guy. Whenever he's a Fox News contributor, he is fantastic, well-spoken, great leader. Like I said earlier, I think he'd be a good mentor. Byron Donalds. All right. So then you were up next, and of all
hitting
people,
home runs, baby. I'm hitting those home runs. Kerry Lake, baby. Give me Kerry Lake.
Kerry Lake.
Yeah.
So then Rebel picks Kerry Lake as the second round draft pick. Tucker Carlson and Kerry Lake has zero fucking chance of being a president. None.
I would vote for both of them in a second over Trump.
But those are long shots. That's like the 50-1 odds kind of stuff.
No. If you're in the know, you know. You know what
if
I'm
we're
saying?
in the Kentucky Derby, I mean, you only have to bet like $10 to win $1 million. As the odds are so stacked against those.
Sounds
two
like
picks.
you listen to MSNBC a lot.
Yeah, MSDNC. No.
Are you changing on me? You're going pro Biden.
All right. So then, since you were just picking people that are never going to be president, this time with Donald Trump's, what would you call that? His team, his ticket,
his vice president, his cabinet. Yeah, his cabinet.
Yeah, on the team Trump. I said Greg Abbott, man, from Texas. I like me some Greg Abbott, dude. Greg Abbott would make a great vice president, you know. And you talk about, hey, you know, the border is the #1 issue in the United States. Who would be better than someone who knows all about the fucking border, and his only job in life can be the border with federal funding. Greg Abbott can finally get whatever he needs to build that wall and secure that border. Put Governor Greg Abbott be as one of his only jobs, and that he just secures the border and takes care of that. I think he would do a great job. He'd be a great vice president.
Okay, I got a question here. Since Texas is probably one of the #1 border crossing states, what do you think?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Border crossing states?
No, it isn't. Even though it's one of the big. No, it's New Mexico, Arizona, yeah, or California.
And who was going to run for governor in Arizona? Kerry Lake, baby. See, that's why she was a good pick.
Okay, I'll give it to you. But then they catch her. Then they catch her on some tape saying some shit or something, or whatever.
No, she was trying to get blackmailed. They're trying to tell her to do something.
Oh yeah.
Or else they, you know.
Well, wasn't she? Didn't she have like a little talk show or something?
No. She was like, she was the
that Kerry Lake show.
She was a news reporter in Arizona for like 30 years.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
So you went like way off the left hand because you seen a video of this lady doing sit-ups in her garage, and she had some trimmed up ads.
Yeah, she could do dips, curls.
Look, she don't even have her picture on this article on NBC News, but Margie Taylor Greene, this is the 3rd round draft pick for Rebel.
Yes. I want people in the know, baby. I want them in the know. I want the people that are going to go in there and you know, flick off the deep state, flick them right off and tell them, get on out of here.
Yeah,
see you later.
It's the eagle, baby, with the flag.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that from Temu?
No, I went to a cruise ship and they were selling these for $5,000.
God.
And man, I was like, how could anyone buy that? I mean, they're nice and everything, but how can someone buy it for $5,000? And then I seen this Christmas shop that was in the Dallas area. They had it for sale. And I was like, I'm afraid to ask, how much is this? I'll show it to you real quick.
$20.
Let me see. Yeah, I was like, I'm afraid to ask. I mean, it's beautiful, dude. It's actually polished bronze. This little contraption I have here. How much is it? $100. bucks.
Yeah, cruise ships get
$5
you.
grand on the cruise
I
ship.
was on a cruise ship, right? And they, you know how they do jewelry, like they'll cut it and do all that
by the foot.
Yeah, and I went there. I was like, oh, and I was talking to the lady. She was like, oh yeah, it's it's sterling silver, whatever, 99.9, whatever it is to be silver. I was like, okay. It was like, I can't remember what it was back in the day. It was like like $17 an inch or something like that. So if you wanted like a 20-inch chain,
that's what he said.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And then I got back. I ended up paying like, I can't remember what I paid. It's like $200-300 for the chain. Got back, realized it wasn't even real silver, bro. I was so pissed, bro. I was like, these fucking cruise ships, they just lie to you.
What's up, Range Minded? Yeah, we're over here talking some politics. We're almost done. So you said Margie Taylor Greene, and then I went with someone who actually has a fucking chance at all being president. I went over. My next selection was, where's he at? No one picked Ben Carson.
You picked Pompeo, didn't you?
No. I picked Tim Scott, bro.
Tim Scott was your third. That's right. Ugh.
Tim Scott. We got Tim Scott right here, Senator of South Carolina. This dude is super freaking smart. He is so smart. You need someone not just to be a role model, but someone who is just super smart and can get things done. I thought Mike Pence was really smart, and he balanced out Trump, but none of the people that was with Trump on the last presidency think he should be president again, which is like, that's another.
Tim Scott's boring, bro. Boring.
But when did you really watch presidential elections before Trump came along? He made them interesting.
I did. I was Facebooking. You remember, not Facebook, MySpace, bro?
Yeah, MySpace.
I was campaigning against Barack Obama back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that. I
was just hating on all them. And then that's when I realized, and then Rage Against the Machine got me into some of this stuff too, knowing that politicians were corrupt and all that. And then they went woke. And I don't know. Don't meet your heroes, they say. So now I don't trust any politician. I don't trust. There's like maybe like 10 of them. And I voted for 4 of them on my list right now.
So you got this guy right here. So this is if you could pick, this is your third draft pick.
My third.
You think, yeah, you have 0 chance of winning so far. You got J.D. Vance, Senator of Ohio.
Already won. My first 2 picks are so strong.
And he's like only 4 years older than the minimum.
Yeah.
He's the
J.D. Vance, baby.
Hillbilly Elegy.
What?
It says that first-term senator first rose to fame after he published his 2016 memoir.
Yeah,
Hillbilly Elegy.
He didn't like Trump at the beginning either.
About growing up in a poor Ohio, graduate of Yale Law School and Marine veteran, Vance worked in venture capital before moving back to his home state to start his own firm and eventually ran for office in 2022. He lamented Trump's rise to the party publicly and described himself as one of those fucking never Trumpers.
Yeah, but, I can't believe your next pick, though. I cannot believe it. Who was your 4th pick, bro? I cannot believe this. This makes me never, ever want to do another podcast ever again with Kingdom Radio, bro. It makes me want to return my Christmas lights and everything, bro. Come on, tell me again why you picked this guy.
It was just an eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe at this fucking point. But with Mike Pompeo. Ooh. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Mike Pompeo. Ooh. Former Secretary of State. I mean, if you're going to say who's Trump going to pick.
Ooh, brother.
What?
He's deep state, bro. The deepest of deep state.
Mike Pompeo?
Yeah, bro. He is the worst, bro. He is the worst, bro. He will smile at your face, and then he will trip you, and then he will anally rape you.
Well, now that you have this, according to MSDNC and all this fake news, now Trump can take SEAL Team 6 and just take out whoever he wants to. You might need Mike Pompeo to help pull off these assassination attempts,
No, he's probably got a couple under his belt. I promise you that.
Yeah, no shit, right? So yeah, Pompeo. Anyway, that was a wasted draft pick. We only needed 4, but that was the 5th one. And good. Then if you had a 5th one, you pick someone who has 0 fucking chance for the 5th time, and Rubio. That would be Mark Rubio.
Yeah, a little Rubio.
Mark Rubio, senator from Florida. He probably has the best chance out of Tucker Carlson, Kerry Lake, Margie Taylor Greene, J.D. Vance, Mark Rubio. Mark Rubio probably has the best chance out of all of them, even though he has 0 chance.
Y'all remember when
Trump
Mark
does
Rubio
not respect Mark Rubio?
No, he likes Mark.
And Trump doesn't need the Spanish vote. He doesn't need any vote. I think he's got it landslide. If it's just between him and Joe Biden, Joe Biden's already shit the bed and it's over. But Marjorie Taylor Greene's probably the strongest one you have. They would even have a chance, but that's not going to happen.
My probably strongest one is J.D. Vance, because Tucker's not going to want to do it. Carrie Lake, I don't think wants to do it. She's running for governor of Arizona. So JD might do it, but I guess he would be okay as a president. I don't know. That's my whole problem is with these never Trumpers and then turn Trumpers. That's what scares me. It's like, oh, he realized that how strong the MAGA movement is, and that's the only way he's going to survive and eat, which he should have knew from the beginning, the way Donald Trump was being persecuted and lied about in the media.
Well, I mean, he ran for president. That's the reason why his hat's in the ring. But if you listen to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he's like, oh, Trump ain't the great person and Trump's not a good person. Then all of a sudden you get like a few, I'm just going to go one more state and then one, you know what? I give up. You know what? I endorse Trump. I know I said some bad things, and then now that a little bit of time has passed, I'm all about Trump. When you were talking shit about him when you were running against him. And it's the same thing with this never Trumper and you're trying to take a stance. The only person who really was just from day fucking one, I got Trump's back. If I am elected president, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure he is not guilty and acquitted of all these charges. 100% I have Trump's back. And I want everyone on this stage to say, if you win, that you are going to make sure that Trump is not going to be convicted of any of these kind of charges. And this is all bullshit. Let's just start with that on the campaign. And that's how Ramaswamy did it. He didn't come out there trying to make an enemy. He started off saying, I'm going to be the president, but I'm not going to be the president by talking shit about everyone. He did call balls and strikes and, said some, people were fucking paid and they were crooked and whatever, but he didn't do one thing, and then all of a sudden when he's not winning, he changed his story. He's been saying the same thing consistently. Vivek Ramaswamy is the #1 draft pick, and then Byron Donalds. But your picks, dude, they look like you haven't really been paying attention to politics that much.
You just sounds like you don't watch the Rockin Roll Rebel Show no more, bro. Like you don't watch the show no more.
Oh, is that what happened?
Sub up, baby. Like and sub up. Let's go.
Yeah, but that's all I got, man. Reb, I appreciate you coming on and are listening to us. But yeah, they had the smoke show. They were doing the smoke show. But I'm gonna play this one right here, man. I appreciate you, cuz. And we didn't have as many people listening as we thought, but it's 4th of July. Have a safe 4th of July. Go out there, shoot some fireworks, get busy, and we're gonna watch a little highlight.
Hey, I got a public service announcement. Tomorrow, a lot of people are gonna be lighting off fireworks, have 10 fingers. Make sure you have 10 fingers by the end of the night. Play safe. Don't drink and light fireworks and blow them all up. Stay safe. And God loves you. God bless. And let's see this video, baby. Let's see this video on the way out.
You're listening to Kingdom
Having
Radio.
sex with a porn star. The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency. Without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. This man is a criminal.
Now, please welcome the 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
They acknowledge they made a lot of progress. We're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. I thought Hitler had some good ideas. We're trying to provide housing for black. And these people should be in jail. And they should be the ones who are being held accountable. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches. Hitler's done some good things dealing with the segregation. Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches were fine people. Come on. So there's more to be done, considerably more to be done.
And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't, in the 1990s, we can't forget that. Super predators was his name.
It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous.
The fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now.
They were good people coming out of that forest, carrying those woods, carrying those torches.
What do you say to black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Good things that was done. The idea that I have to apologize to you for anything.
Please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump. Thank you, President Trump.
I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way. And I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with you. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag.
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap. Yeah. 8. But I have, you know how many?
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
Let's
not act like children.
President Trump, we're going to
Let's not act like children.
How do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be run. We created 15,000 new jobs. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble.
The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID.
We have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine.
I don't know where the hell he's been. The idea that anything he said is true.
What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion.
I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important.
There's a lot of young women are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it.
Brandon, just speak to him.
I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world.
Our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. And it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life.
Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country.
By the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position.
According to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. I call it Biden migrant crime. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life. He should have fired those generals like I fired the one that you mentioned. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that the Afghanistan horror show. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions.
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done.
He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
You can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's what you're. Anyway,
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
Because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
If you're going to sign that bill, I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people.
You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China.
If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they've raised $500 million, billion dollars, I should say. We are the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by China. He's a Manchurian candidate. He gets money from China.
This tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more, because they're going to have to pay the difference.
Do you notice he never took out my tariffs, because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't, because it's too much money. The worst situation with China, China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do.
That I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make America great again. America great again. America great again.
You're listening to Kingdom Radio.